All right, people. It's Bob. I'm back again. This time I'll be doing Supreme number five. So let me tell you a little bit about that. I've done Supreme 1 through 4, and I could have sworn that Supreme started as a miniseries and then went on to a continuous series where Alan Moore had written it. So I don't know why I assumed that it was that. I thought there was 4 issues and then it went over to something else, but that does not seem to be the case. So when I ran out of issues because I only had 1 through 4, thinking I was going to get a complete story there, I was like, oh, where am I going to get Supreme number five? I believe I looked it up on Amazon and was like, coming up where the book is like $5 or $6, but then there's like $5 or $6 delivery fee, and I was like, $12 for that book. I don't know. Maybe I should just forget this one or something like that. But I told you I went to my comic shop and they had these dollar comics that were on sale, so that you're getting 3 for $1. And it just so happened that they had Supreme number five in there. But they didn't just have Supreme number five. They had like 50 Supreme number fives. And you know what really sucks is I apparently got the one that's like water damaged here on the bottom, because I didn't pay enough attention to it or something when I grabbed it, because I was just pouring through these boxes. I was there for like a couple of hours just digging out a bunch of stuff. I don't even know why I thought about it, because when I dig through these boxes, they are at least 50% image titles. Ones I had never heard of before, ones I didn't know existed. I remember that there was a Cybernary comic, but that comic was only like parts of other comics. So you would get like a half a story of Cybernary and half of an issue of I don't know, Wildcats or something like that. But then I found this like Cybernary comics thing that was done by a different artist. I didn't grab it because of that. I liked what I was getting the first time with the artwork and everything, even though like the story kind of made no sense. I know a lot of people said it was like just extremely convoluted or whatever, and like even the writers like didn't know what the hell they were writing when they did it. Uh, but yeah, so there's just tons of that stuff in those things, and so I don't know why I panicked. But anyway, I got Supreme number five here, and spoiler alert, the story doesn't end here. Okay, so this is one of those things where it's going to go on for an eternity. I don't know when it's going to end, and that kind of bothers me. But here's the trick: I'm actually enjoying this. Okay, like had I known, I would have stuck with this. Back in the '90s when it first came out, because I remember getting like up to Supreme number three, I think, and was like, okay, I'm done. I didn't want to read it anymore. I don't know why. It just wasn't doing anything for me. But to be honest with you, it was one of the better written Extreme Studios productions. And that was mostly because even though we have Robert Liefeld as the person who made the story here, Brian Murray also did the story. So I don't know. Again, it's a bit confusing, but it looks like Brian Murray was the guy who was literally doing everything on this book, and you can tell. Okay, there's story beats and everything. There's characterization. We're getting information. We know characters, and we know that if that's the case, that it couldn't have been Rob Liefeld. There's just no way. Um, he's never accidentally made or done any kind of characterization for any of the characters he's ever created. Okay, created loosely in quotes. Okay, but we still have Supreme here fighting Chrome. This picture looks a little confusing here. I'm not sure. What is this? Like, is this supposed to be Supreme's shirt being like grabbed and lifted up by Chrome? I don't know. It's very confusing here what we're seeing, and didn't really work out well. But basically, if you remember last issue, Chrome was just beating the shit out of everyone effortlessly, including Supreme, and that's basically continuing on right now. But he's also giving us his entire backstory while he's doing it, like a good villain should. Okay, so apparently Chrome was allies with Supreme while they were fighting off this alien armada. I can't remember what they're called, but basically that was for the Maxians or Maxia, and then Supreme left, and Chrome basically became the leader there, and had kind of rebuilt the planet according to Chrome, helped all of its people, and brought peace between these aliens and the planet Maxia. And apparently everything was great until Supreme then decided to join the Catellans, and then the Catellans attacked. And Chrome is saying it's all because Supreme was jealous. And I have to tell you, so here's the thing with that. I don't know what we're actually supposed to think, right? Because I know that Supreme is like a homage to Superman or a pastiche of Superman, right? So, but the thing is that he's Superman who doesn't give a shit. He's Superman who kills. He's Superman who's an asshole. So everything that Chrome is saying could 110% be true. So now is Chrome somehow the bad guy? And after everything that Supreme did to a planet that he helped, is Chrome in the wrong for trying to take out Supreme now? I don't know. Now he is taking it out on the entire Earth, so that's wrong. But you know, we're dealing with like two assholes here and their perspectives. So is anybody right? I have no idea. Okay, it makes it hard to tell. But basically, we have Skyraker. Yeah, Skyraker here, who does get a hit on Chrome. Chrome gets pretty pissed off about that and uses Supreme as a weapon, swinging him at Skyraker in order to try to hurt him. And then, yeah, again, launches Supreme at Skyraker, who just gets out of the way. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to catch Supreme. Fuck that. Let him fly wherever. I'm going after Chrome. Nothing else matters. And Supreme gets thrown through this airport tower, okay? All the while, we have a plane contacting the people in that tower saying that they have to land. They're running out of fuel. There's no way they can stay up in the air anymore. They have no choice. They can see people on the runway, but it's up to them to get out of the way. And of course, those people on the runway are these people that are battling here. Supreme, after being thrown through the tower, regains consciousness, right? Yeah, regains consciousness, or just gets himself together or whatever. And he's like, you know, Skyraker, you go and help Menagerie and Decibel because they've been like severely hurt by Chrome, and I'm going to go after Chrome myself. Skyraker's like, you know, fine. Apparently, Chrome picks up an airplane that has passengers on it, and we have a little kid in here who's like, "Mommy, it's okay. Look, Supreme, he'll save us." I feel like this is a contradiction. Okay. Again, we are being told that this is an asshole Superman, right? I haven't seen him doing anything where, you know, he's this hero or anything. And not only that, the people of Earth have kind of forgotten about him because it's been 50 years since he was there. And some people didn't even believe that he existed, right? So it's weird that you have this little kid be like, oh, yeah, Supreme, I know him. He's that old superhero I'd never seen before, you know, who just came back to Earth and has been back for like a day. Okay. So that jet is thrown, I guess, killing everyone on there. We're also not, so I don't know, is this the jet that was landing that he caught? I guess it is. Like, it looks like his hand is like going through that. Yeah, so I guess that's the landing jet here. We are seeing it in the background and everything. And he throws it onto Supreme, killing everybody on board. Now we have this news anchor, and I don't know if this is supposed to be the same one from Spawn. I doubt it. This is in Washington, D.C., and I'm pretty sure Spawn's in New York. This is another instance where we have this word bubble here, like I was showing in Hellshock number 2, that these word bubbles are cut off, not at the border. So that's weird. Was the border supposed to cut straight across here, but then they filled in more? I don't know. Well, anyway, she, her report, I'm just going to read what she says because, again, this is where like a bit of a contradiction comes in. If we have this kid saying, "Oh yeah, mom, don't worry, Supreme, he's going to save us," right, 3 seconds before he's killed, we have this reporter here who's like, "This is Maxine Winslow reporting live from atop the WABC News building in Washington, D.C. In the distance, you can see the chaos unfolding as Supreme returns to the scene of this morning's carnage, Dulles International Airport. It's impossible to tell what's happening within the cloud of destruction, but one thing you can bet on, if Supreme is involved, people are dying." That is this woman's report, okay? So we have Supreme coming back to Earth, Supreme fighting Youngblood, or Youngblood fighting Supreme, whichever way you want to look at it. Supreme joining Heavy Metal, killing a bunch of people in a terrorist standoff, a hostage situation, and then Crone shows up, and then a bunch more people die in the battle between Supreme and them. Now here we're coming back to Gate base, or Gate headquarters, because everyone is hurt except for Skyraker. Skyraker's okay, but he's helping Menagerie here, and I think this is Decibel. And the doctors are basically saying that Decibel, like every bone in Decibel's body is shattered. They're not sure he's going to survive. He's too weak for surgery, but they have no choice. They're going to have to do it if he has any hope of living. Menagerie gets put into some kind of regeneration tank. And while, Skyraker and whoever his name is, Riot. So yeah, the Riot says something that just, I don't know, it's so weird. But Skyraker and Riot are talking, and I'll just read the dialogue here again. It's like, Skyraker's like, "Our place is in battle," and Riot's like, "Sorry, Skyraker, I know you're in charge now, but my place is on the streets. I'm heading there now." All right, dude, what are you doing on the streets? Your place is on the streets, not fighting Chrome? Is that what you're saying? Where are the streets located? Are the streets located in a different place? Is it that every place doesn't have streets? I don't know. I felt that read just hilariously, and it didn't make any sense. But we then we're then introduced to this woman walking down the hall, who was like, "Excuse me, you guys in the tights. Do you know where I can find Frank Herbert? I'm his daughter, Frances." And Riot's like, "His daughter? Yeah, down the hall there. I'll show you." And she's like, "No thanks. You've given me all the information I need from your kind." So, okay. What's weird with that is, we're getting something here, and because it was Riot who responded to her request for information on where her father is, right? But here the caption's like, "Skyraker wonders if by your kind she meant his own alien origin, the group's diverse colorations, or something else entirely. But his curiosity fades as his blood begins to race in anticipation of facing Chrome." She's responding to Riot. So, yeah. Was that a racist thing? Is that what was going on? Or is it a superhero thing? I don't know. But because it was Riot, I don't know why Skyraker's the one that's thinking about this, because Riot didn't seem to give two shits. But anyway, we cut to something. I have no idea what's going on. Again, I guess this was a sales technique, that you have to connect every story to every book that you're publishing in order to get people to buy every book. But I was not going to do that. I'm not going to read Brigade and Bloodstrike and Berserkers and New Men and fucking Evangeline and Glory and Teen Youngblood and Youngblood Strike File and whatever else there was. I know that Liefeld was bringing out 30 titles a month or whatever, and all the stories ran through that and everything, where I'm not reading Prophet, I'm not reading all of that shit to find out. So I have no idea who the fuck these people are. I don't know. Like, it says elsewhere, a momentous journey nears its conclusion, right? We have a female diehard here that I've never seen before, okay? I have no idea who this is or this. This is Cougar, okay? I've seen Cougar. Cougar's part of Team Youngblood. I don't know who the rest of these people are. I don't know if there's supposed to be something from the future. Apparently they're traveling through time. I don't know. It's very weird. We're not given anything. Like, and that's a thing. Like, tell us what's happening here. Uh, so, I don't know. I guess they're just traveling through time, and this had nothing to do with anything, right? Because they continue on. And then we have this bolt of lightning hit a mountain. It says right here, Norway above Jotunheim, a cascade of lightning shatters the granite peaks of Mount Glittertinden as another power makes its presence felt. From the heart of the conflagration, a majestic figure emerges. The night sky churns with dark storm clouds, heralding the return of Thor, god of thunder. Okay, Thor is a mythological creature. Anybody can use Thor. Of all the Thors I would see, Norse mythology, this one seems the worst. And that is, without a doubt, the worst hammer I have ever seen. That was ridiculous. I remember seeing that on the covers of later Supreme issues and was just like, seriously, that's what they came up with for a hammer? Okay. Moving on. We're back with Skyraker on Deinonychus, and he's receiving information that apparently the Supreme that is here now is not the same Supreme that was with the Catellans. And Skyraker seems to have known that. So is there another Supreme? I don't know. That's another mystery. That's cool. It's something that keeps you reading. Now we cut back to Chrome and Supreme fighting. So apparently with all of that stuff that's been going on, Chrome and Supreme have been fighting. To me, that's where you want to be. You want to be with the action, right? That's what you want to be following. These people took a big break from the action to do all of these other story elements or whatever, while these two were still fighting and like killing tons of people. Supreme's just getting thrown around like a ragdoll. There's nothing here, that Supreme can do. Apparently, Chrome has everything countered. Okay, Supreme can't pick him up because he's got some like anti-gravity armor on or something. We see here that I think this is Decibel's daughter, is basically just stating that, her father did this to himself. He had a choice, and his choice was to do this. So, whatever happens, the doctors say, they've done all they can. They'll know more in 24 hours. And then, of course, a giant, massive explosion takes place. And according to Supreme, Chrome is like digging his way down to the Earth's core. And Supreme is now telling this to Skyraker, and he's like, he's generating the power of a controlled singularity. He may be beyond our power to deal with. He can be stopped, but we must be prepared to make the ultimate sacrifice. Skyraker's like, death holds no terror for me, Supreme. And Supreme's like, then prepare yourself, Skyraker. One way or another, this ends now. And then, of course, it is to be continued, where it says the next is the final conflict, okay? So I guess we are going to finally get a conclusion to this story. I guess we're getting 6 issues, which is fine, Again, it's not bad. It's one of the better Extreme Studios books. I don't feel like Brian Murray got enough credit for just doing all of the heavy lifting with this book and making Supreme what he is. I would say that Supreme is more of a Brian Murray creation than it is a Rob Liefeld creation, in the same vein that Deadpool is more of a creation of everyone else who used that character in a story and provided more characterization and personality than what we got when Rob Liefeld was doing him in X-Force, and he was just this bland mercenary who really didn't do much. We saw him like 3 times and nothing really took place, So this was Supreme number 5. I do have Supreme number 6, which I got at the comic store the other day, so I'll be reviewing that one and finishing up this storyline. If you guys like this video, please hit like. If you would like to see more, please hit subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. See ya.